Same client, same type of edits, same deliverables on repeat. As videographers, we all been there when work becomes purely a matter of like do it fast without thinking about it. And this is actually when your passion becomes actual work. Today I want to give you some practical strategies to navigate this. I learned some valuable lessons over my 8 years as a videographer about keeping your creative fire burning even when works start to feel like a routine. So let's talk about what you can actually do about it. Gamify your current work. Try to treat each project like a mini challenge. Can you try a new editing style? Approach the brief in a different way? Tell the story like even just 10-20% differently while hitting the client requirements? I do this every time with my retainer clients, and so instead of using just like a simple templates, I try to challenge myself with different script structures and editing approaches. The client on the flip side gets fresh content and I stay engaged creatively. Spoiler alert, it doesn't always work, but worst case scenario, what can happen? And you just like go back to what the client wants. Communicate your creative needs. Don't assume that your clients want boring work. They often default to something like, please do the same thing as last time because it's safer, and not because they oppose to something better. So try to have a conversation with them. For example, like telling them, I have an idea that could make this more engaging for your audience. So you want to try it? Most clients are open to creative suggestions when framed properly, so give it a go. Use financial security as creative freedom. So instead of seeing steady work as limiting, view it as a foundation for freedom. So when you have a reliable income, you can actually afford to experiment, look for different directions, look for a different business, start a YouTube channel, think of a second business, take occasional passion projects. I also am currently using my videography stability to explore creative directions instead of always feeling trapped. And trust me, it works. Master the art of taking real breaks. And by breaks, I don't necessarily mean just weekends, actual time away from work, or when you stop thinking about it. Sometimes it's just so good for your mind to completely switch off and recalibrate your perspective about your work-life balance. The stressedness and the flatness that you felt the week before might well disappear and open up to new perspective and projects when you're away, for some very strange reason. Another thing that I really recommend I've started to use recently is AI journaling, using an app that is called Rosebud. It's been an absolute game changer, literally like AI therapy on tap for £13 a month. I'm not sponsored in saying this. If you need help like reframing your thoughts and your vision, definitely give it a go. Build your creative community. Connect with other videographers who understand the same challenges you're facing. Every time I connect with fellow creators, I get fresh perspective on common problems that other people outside the industry don't really understand. And even just the feeling of not being alone can give an instant relief, or even the motivation of just turn chapter. Go to networking events, join online communities, reach out to creators you admire. These relationships can provide support and advice and even unexpected opportunities sometimes. When to consider bigger changes? Sometimes the strategies above aren't enough. If you tried multiple approaches and you're still feeling creatively dead, it might be the time to actually consider a significant change. Last year, for example, I quit a full-time remote job, really well paid as a videographer and video editor after 6 months because the work was completely robotic and totally soulless. It shouldn't be considered as laziness or cowardly, but confidence in your abilities and taking an active decision that your life can be much better than a shitty, well-paid job. So if you find yourself in that position, quit now and go prove it. How to make smart transitions. Build a financial cushion first, explore while employed, and also remember your skills transfer as a videographer with storytellers, project managers, problem solvers. Consider gradual transitions rather than overnight changes. Your videography skills are so valuable in marketing, creative direction, business in general, so try to think beyond video production and see what it comes up. Creative ups and downs don't mean that you're not cut out for this work. I felt like this so many times. The goal isn't constant passion, it's building a sustainable career that adapts as you grow. Your relationship with videography will evolve, and that's healthy. What matters is being intentional about those changes. So what strategies, for example, have worked for you when you start creatively? Drop a comment down below and let's help each other and navigate these challenges. Boom.